Manga-Waido.
I'm Ken Moriuchi. I'm in 11th grade. This is a story about this sushi restaurant I went to the other day. The owner was a jerk to me at first, but then things took an unexpected turn. They say first love doesn't work, but I disagree. I asked out my first crush and she said yes. Her name was Risa Tsuyama. She was in the same grade as me. We started dating after the school festival when we were in 10th grade. I really enjoyed spending time with her. We studied together, went to the movies, went shopping. I just loved being around her. And I thought the good times would last forever. But then, she got sick. She was diagnosed with LAM. It was a rare disease that poked holes in your lungs. It was often seen with young women. She started getting asthma-like symptoms and was rushed to the hospital. After the doctors did some tests on her, she was diagnosed with LAM. She was pretty sick. She was in a lot of pain, but she always smiled at me.
I'm glad it wasn't contagious. I just want you to be happy, Ken.
Her parents did everything they could to save her. The doctor said the only way for her to survive is an organ transplant. Both her parents agreed to donate one of their lungs. Whenever I went to see her, I could tell that she was in pain, but she always smiled at me.
It's almost my birthday. I really want to go to that famous sushi restaurant.
She was talking about this restaurant called Ikari Sushi. She went there once when she was a kid. I had never been there myself. It was a 3-star restaurant. She said she hasn't been there in years. Her birthday was the day before her big surgery. I wasn't sure if the doctor would let her go out the day before the surgery, but I had to act. I paid a visit to the sushi restaurant. Ikari Sushi was located in the city. The place looked old. I wasn't sure if it was open or not. I looked up the place online before I came here. There weren't a lot of reviews to begin with, and most of the reviews were negative. They all said that the owner was a stubborn jerk. What does that even mean? Hello? There was a counter seat and 2 tables, nothing else. The owner glared at me from behind the counter. I could tell right off the bat that he was annoyed. I'd like to make a reservation. He ignored me. Or maybe he just didn't hear me. He just kept sharpening his kitchen knife. Excuse me, sir. I'd like to make a reservation.
Get out of here, kid. This isn't a place for you.
I guess I saw it coming, but I couldn't just give up. It's not for me, though. My friend, she's in the hospital and...
I don't do takeout either. If you want my sushi, you gotta come here. End of story.
I asked him again and again, but the answer was no. Finally, I gave up. Maybe I'll just go home and write a bad review. But then...
Your friend?
The owner started talking.
How bad is it? Is it your family?
My classmate. She's getting a lung transplant. She said she wanted to eat here for her birthday and... The owner put the knife down. He looked at me and told me to take a seat. I sat down by the counter and told him about Risa.
Wait, does she have a mole next to her left eye? She came here with her family once, about 5 years ago.
He was right. I can't believe he remembered her.
Fine. I'll make her some sushi for her birthday. I'll bring it to the hospital.
Risa's birthday. I got the doctor's permission to bring in some sushi from outside. The owner came and delivered the sushi himself.
So good. So good. This is exactly what I needed. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sure thing. This kid here, he just wouldn't take no for an answer.
Risa's parents thanked me too. I was just glad that everything worked out. After she finished eating, something happened. Risa's parents tried to pay for the food, but the owner refused. Her parents insisted, but the owner kept saying no. Then he started talking.
5 years ago, my wife passed away. We had no kids, so I was thinking about closing shop.
But then, Risa came to the restaurant with her family.
The way she smiled, it really cheered me up, you know. That's why I kept the restaurant open.
I see.
Then, the pandemic happened. I lost a lot of business. I was thinking about closing shop again, but then he showed up and...
I guess I got there just in time.
I decided to keep going. Your daughter, she saved my restaurant twice. So no, put your money away. It's on the house.
Sir!
Get better. Come see me at the restaurant when you get out here, okay?
Yes, thank you.
We all thanked him again and again. We asked the nurse to take a group photo to remember this special day. After that, we all got some much-needed rest to get ourselves ready for the surgery. A few months later, I visited Ikari Sushi. The place was quiet as usual. The owner was sharpening his knife in the back. Hey.
Hey, what's the matter?
I started crying as soon as I walked in.
Wait. No. No.
The thing is, Risa didn't make it. The doctors did everything they could, but she was gone. She was so young. I couldn't leave the house for a while, but I knew I had to tell him in person. Risa, she really enjoyed that sushi.
Yeah.
Then, the owner started crying too.
Why her? She's so young. Why? Why?
The owner cried for a while. Then he wiped the tears off of his face and started packing up his things. Sir?
I'm done. I'm closing shop. It's not like I got customers anyways.
Wait, I got a letter for you. It's from Risa. I took out the letter and handed it to him. She wrote it the night before her surgery. She thanked him for the wonderful gift and told him to keep doing what he does best. The owner started crying out loud.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this.
A few days later, I shared a story about Risa and the sushi restaurant online. I wrote about how much she loved the sushi there and how she saved that place over and over again. The article got a lot of feedback. Everyone was really supportive. Soon, Ikari Sushi was packed with customers again. There was always a huge line in front of the restaurant. A few years later, the hype was gone, but the place was still really popular. The owner told me that sometimes famous people come to eat there too. I was all grown up now. One night, I stopped by to say hello.
Hey there. I knew you'd show up. Today is Risa's anniversary.
He saved a seat for me. He had a photo from the hospital on the counter.
So, what can I get you?
Surprise me! The sushi was delicious. There were a lot of customers there, but the owner and I talked for hours on end. A few hours later, I got up and left. Thanks, that was delicious!
Sure thing. Come back anytime, kiddo.
He was still stubborn towards other customers, so everyone seemed really confused. Risa, see you again next year. Love you.